stay, I would have stayed, because fundamentally, I believe when the president asks you to do something, you do it. You have a national obligation to do it.
Primrose, North Carolina, good morning.
Hi, Pembroke.
I'm sorry, go ahead, please.
Dr. Kissinger, I have to tell you that I'm not your greatest fan, but I saw your biography on A&E, and I must say I found myself much more sympathetic to you afterwards. But some of your past troubles me, and I hope that this morning you might open your heart and speak truthfully to the American people about the events of October in 1968. According to Seymour Hersh's book, The Price of Power, you got wind of LBJ's peace plans for Vietnam in October of '68, and Warren, Nixon, and Agnew, and Hersh writes, quote, "It is certain that the Nixon campaign, alerted by Kissinger to the impending success of the peace talks, was able to get a series of messages to the TU government, the South Vietnamese government, making it clear that a Nixon presidency would have different views on the peace negotiations." Now, the Republican emissary to South Vietnam apparently was Anna Chennault, who was working with the Nixon campaign, and Hersh quotes Johnson cabinet official saying U.S. intelligence agencies had caught on that Chennault was the go-between between Nixon and his people and President Chiu in Saigon.
I'm going to stop you there. We'll have time for a response. Thanks for the call.
What Anna Chennault did, whom I didn't know at the time, I do not know. Bill Bundy, who was Assistant Secretary of State for Asian Affairs, and who has written an extraordinarily critical book of me, has nevertheless always pointed out that this is an absolutely outrageous charge. I had no knowledge of what the Johnson administration was doing. I told John Mitchell that in my judgment, it was in the Vietnamese interest to try to make an agreement before the election in order to tie down both political parties to such an agreement, and therefore they should keep in mind that such an agreement was very possible. I had no knowledge of the details of the negotiation. I obviously therefore couldn't give them any secret information. I think this is a lie and a distortion of a fragmentary record, and this is not something that, and in fact Nixon in his own book said that I warned him so often against getting himself into the peace negotiations that he thought I might be an emissary of the other side.
Columbia, South Carolina, for Henry Kissinger. Good morning.
Dr. Kissinger, this is Randy Nelson, an old dumb Secret Service agent that's retired, and I appreciate all your efforts on the behalf of our country, and I wonder if
I appreciate all the efforts of the Secret Service on my behalf when they were protecting me.
Well, I was wondering, Doctor, if
4 points in the process. Working for a company that makes information technology.
Did millions of computer users worldwide.
Everyone. My favorite site is Consortium.